well today. I am coming at you to talk a little bit here about the difference between the verb ser and the verb estar. As you know, both of these verbs mean to be in Spanish, and it's really just a matter of knowing which one to use at any certain time. First, you need to make sure you know how to conjugate these verbs. So, ser is conjugated here as soy, eres, es, somos, sois, and son. Estar is conjugated as estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, and están. If you're having trouble remembering the conjugations, there's a wonderful website called Conjuguemos, which can be very helpful. You can go through and it will sort of drill you with these verbs in the same way that maybe you were drilled with your multiplication facts when you were in elementary school. So same type of thing there. As far as when to use ser or when to use estar, I've come up with some little acronyms here to help you. For the verb ser, we use the acronym TOPIC, T-O-P-I-C. And the T in TOPIC stands for time, the O stands for origin, the P, profession, the I, identification, and the C, characteristic. I'm going to ask you to pause your audio here and jot down all of those letters from topic, because you're going to need to know those in just a second for an activity that we're going to do together. But for now, just make sure you have those jotted down. Topic. Okay, the T in topic, as I said, stands for time, and this can be a day of the week, like hoy es miércoles, today is Wednesday. It can be a date, like mañana es mi cumpleaños, tomorrow is my birthday. It could be a really specific time, like a time on the clock, that ahora es la una or son las 5:25. So you can have something very specific there. You can also talk about the year, the season. But anytime we're talking about the verbs, talking about time, we do use the verb ser, not the verb estar. The O in topic stands for origin, and generally when you're talking about origin, you're talking about where an individual is from, right? However, you can also talk about the material from which something is made. A good example of that is las sillas son de madera. The chairs are made of wood. Literally, the chairs come from wood. Or el chocolate es de Mexico. The chocolate is from Mexico. That's its origin. But generally speaking, we use this when referring to people and their origin. So, Celia es de España, por ejemplo. Okay, the T was topic, the O was origin, the P we have profession. And generally we're referring to what someone does for a living here. However, it can also be something that fills their time. So for example, you might say that being a student at this point in your life is probably your profession. So some other examples here I have, soy maestro de español. I'm a Spanish teacher. Ellos son estudiantes. They are students. That's their profession. Mi padre es policía. My dad is a policeman. Or Clayton es jugador de fútbol americano. Clayton is a football player. These are your professions. The I in topic refers to identification. And these are those qualities that generally don't change about a people. It can be their nationality. It can be their title in like a romantic relationship, identification as a family member, that kind of thing. Here are some examples. I said, yo soy Matthew. That's my name. It's not going to change. Yo soy Matthew. Yo soy alto y delgado. I'm tall and I'm thin. Now that might change, but right now that's sort of a characteristic or an identification. I've said that Tanner es católico. Tanner is Catholic. Patricia es mi madre. There's a family identification for you. Patricia is my mother. And Madison es la ex-novia de Clayton. Madison is Clayton's ex-girlfriend. Identification. The characteristic is, I think, it is the final C, and I think it's the most common use of ser, in my opinion. And this refers to personality descriptions and physical descriptions as well. So, for example, I've given you a sentence here about my sister. It says, Ali es inteligente y amable. Ali is intelligent and friendly. Mi novia es romántica y guapa. My girlfriend is romantic and good looking. So these are characteristics, those things about people that generally do not change. For the verb estar, we have a different acronym. We've been using topic this whole time to talk about ser. We're now going to use place to talk about estar. So the P in place stands for position. This is the physical position or posture of a certain person or thing. An example here is that el baño está al lado de mi clase. The bathroom is next to my class. That's the bathroom's position or its location. El lápiz está encima del pupitre. The pencil is on top of the desk. That's the pencil's position. The L in place stands for location, and this is generally talking about more permanent things, but it can also talk about where things are temporarily located as well. Again, this sort of goes along with position, but el baño está a la derecha de la cocina. The bathroom is to the right of the kitchen. That's the bathroom's position, its location. Estamos en el café ahora. We're in a cafe right at the moment. That's our temporary location. So on and so forth. This is the tricky one. The A of place refers to actions, and generally, these are ongoing events, typically written with a gerund in English, and that means that they end in ing. So I am washing the plates, he is driving the car. It's an action that's ongoing, and we use the present progressive tense most commonly for these actions in Spanish. And if you don't recall from a previous course, the present progressive is formed by using the verb estar. So estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están, and a participle. So if a verb ends in AR, we chopped off that AR and added ado. If it ended in ER or IR, we chopped off that ER, IR, and added ido. So estoy comiendo, estás bebiendo, so on and so forth for that ing, usually ending in ando or yendo. Here's an example. Estoy lavando los platos sucios. I am washing the dirty plates or the dirty dishes. That's an ing because it ends in ando. You know, anything that ends in ando or yendo is going to be in that action or present progressive tense. The C of place refers to conditions. These are both physical and mental conditions, by the way. And some good examples. Estoy cansada esta mañana. I'm tired this morning. That's a temporary condition. You're not always tired. You might be, but generally that's a condition. Mis niños están enfermos hoy. My children are sick today. That's a temporary condition. Hopefully you're not going to be sick forever. Mi padre está un poco loco. My dad's a little crazy. Temporary, hopefully. Mitchell está enamorado. He's in love. Again, love is considered to be a condition. And then finally, we have the E of place here, which refers to emotions. This is how someone is feeling at a certain moment. So, estoy triste. Oh, I'm sad. Or, ella está enojada porque tiene hambre. She's mad because she's hungry. Or we would say hangry in English. So those are giving you some examples. What I like to do next, I usually make my students tell me in English if we're going to use the verb ser or if we're going to use the verb estar. So number one says Matthew is from Kingsport. So using those acronyms we just learned, topic and place, which one would you choose here? Hopefully you're saying you would use ser because Kingsport, that's Matthew's origin. So for number one, we're going to put ser and we're going to put origin. Let's do one more together, and I'm going to let you try the rest. Number two says, it is 7 o'clock. Well, 7 o'clock, that's a time, so we know we're going to have to use ser, that's the T of topic. So for number two, I'm just going to write ser and time. Okay, I'd like for you to take a moment, pause your audio, and give numbers 3 through 10 a try for me, please. Okay, not too bad a second to try these. Let's take a look. Number 3 says, my aunt is very funny. Well, funny, that's a characteristic. She's a funny person. So in this case, we are going to use ser, but because of characteristic. Number 4, the book is beside the computer. Being beside the computer, that's the book's location or position. So we're going to use the verb estar. Number 5, Maria is tall. Well, tall is a characteristic of Maria. It's describing her physical condition. Her physical description. So we're going to use ser, and this is because it's a characteristic. Number 6, I am sick. Sick is a condition, therefore we're going to use estar. Number 7, we are in Spanish class. That's our location or our position, so we're going to use estar. The hamburgers are made of meat. Meat in this case is the origin of the burger. So because of origin, we're going to use ser. Number 9, Señor H is my teacher. That is a profession or an identification in this case, so it should be ser. And they are in love. That's a condition, so we should use estar. You could also argue it's an emotion as well. Okay, so now that we've done this in English, I want to give you a chance to try in Spanish. So it's going to give you a sentence, and you're going to have to determine if you're going to use ser or estar, and then of course conjugate it correctly. So let's do a few together, make sure you know what you're doing. Number 1 says, ellos blank mexicanos. So they are Mexican. They're from Mexico. That's their origin. So we know we're going to use ser. If you recall your conjugations of ser, we have soy, eres, es, somos, sois, and son. In this case, we're talking about they or ellos. So we should say that ellos son mexicanos. And that's because we're talking about their origin. Let's do a few more. Number 2 says that Marta blank in Mexico. This time we're not saying that she's Hispanic or she's Mexican. We're saying that she is in Mexico. That is her location. So in this case, when referring to location or position, we should use the verb estar. If you remember your estar conjugations, we have estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, and están. So we should say that Marta está en Mexico, and that is her location or her position. Number 3 says, yo blank médica. Well, a médica is a doctor. Being a doctor, that's a profession, so we know we're going to use ser. We would say, yo soy médica. Okay, I'd like for you to take a moment. Please pause your audio and give numbers 4 through 10 a try for me. When you're ready, you can unmute. All right, let's look at these. Number 4 says, yo no blank feliz. I'm not happy. Well, happy, that's a condition or an emotion. So in this case, we should use the verb estar, and the yo form of estar is estoy. Number 5, María y Ana blank estudiando. This is a tricky one. In this case, we're saying that María and Ana, that they are studying. Remember that ing is part of the present progressive tense. So we always use the verb estar with the present progressive. It falls under that action category of place. We know that the estar word to go with María and Ana would be están. So we should say that María y Ana están estudiando. Number 6, nosotros blank estudiantes. We are students. Being a student, that's our profession in this case. So we are going to use a ser word. We should say that nosotros somos estudiantes. Number 7, tú blank de Bolivia. You are from Bolivia. That's your origin. Therefore, we're going to use ser. And the ser word to go with tú should be eres. Tú eres de Bolivia. Number 8, nosotros blank comiendo. We are eating. Eating is an action again. It ends in iendo. We're using that present progressive tense. So we're always using estar here. We should say nosotros estamos comiendo. And number 9, el perro blank cansado. Oh, the dog is tired. Tired is his condition. So in this case, this is tricky. The dog would be it in this case, or this is a male dog because it ends in an O, so we could say he. So el perro está cansado, referring to his condition. And number 10, blank tú durmiendo. Are you sleeping? Sleeping is an action or an ongoing action in this case. We are using the present progressive tense, and we know that estar is always used with that. So in the to form, we should say estás durmiendo. Hopefully, this video has been helpful for you in realizing the various uses of ser and estar. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care.